The Mirror and the Mask, a story of narcissists. In the bustling city of Niger, two people lived very different lives that somehow reflected the same truth. Mahesh, a successful corporate leader, wore charm like a well-fitted suit. His words sparkled, his confidence was magnetic, and his presence filled every room. Yet behind that brilliance was a hunger and endless thirst for admiration. Compliments were his fuel, obedience, his entitlement, and loyalty from others, his unquestioned right. When the praise stopped, his smile could cut like a blade. On the other side of the city lived Sara, a woman celebrated in her circle for elegance and beauty. She knew how to capture attention with her words. With her carefully crafted social media presence, with her perfectly staged kindness. But her love was conditional. It lasted only as long as she was adored. The moment anyone's light shone brighter than hers, her affection withered into criticism, silent punishment, or cutting remarks. Though Mahesh and Sara never met, their stories were bound by the same thread. Narcissism is not gendered, is a pattern of relating to others as mirrors, not as human beings. The victim's silent struggle. Mahesh's wife, Kavya, once believed she had married a man of strength and vision. At first, his confidence made her feel protected. Every disagreement became her fault. Every achievement of hers was diminished or claimed by him. When she tried to share her sadness, he dismissed it with, "You're too sensitive." Sara's younger sister, Nisha, adored her elder sibling. But living in Sara's shadow meant constant self-doubt. If Nisha succeeded, Sara found ways to remind her that she was lucky, not talented. If Nisha faltered, Sara exaggerated her failures. The relationship was dressed as love, but carried the poison of control. Victims like Kavya and Nisha often stay silent, confused. They ask themselves, am I overreacting? Maybe it's my fault. If I leave, will anyone believe me? This is the invisible prison narcissists create, a cycle of doubt, guilt, and craving for the very approval that is withheld. Psychological roots. From a clinical lens, narcissism stems from fragile self-esteem hidden beneath grandiosity. A narcissist's inner child often never felt safe, seen, or unconditionally loved. So they build an armor, power, beauty, dominance, perfection. But armor is not skin. It cracks easily. That's why even minor criticism feels like a personal attack, and why they punish others to restore their shaky sense of control. This does not excuse the harm, but it explains the pattern. Understanding the psychology helps victims realize, it's not me, it's the wound in them projecting onto me, dealing without losing oneself. Psychologists often say, you cannot cure a narcissist with love, but you can protect yourself with boundaries. After years of silent suffering, learned a method called gray rocking, responding to Mahesh's manipulations with calm. Minimal reactions instead of emotional outbursts. She stopped feeding his cycles of drama. She also sought therapy to rebuild her sense of self, reminding herself that her worth was not defined by his opinion. Nisha, meanwhile, learned the power of boundaries. When Sara criticized her, she would say, I won't continue this conversation if it becomes about tearing me down. And she would walk away, not with anger, but with dignity. Both women realized something profound. Survival with a narcissist does not mean submission. It means strategy, clarity, and self-preservation. The wider awareness. In society, narcissists often thrive in positions of visibility because people confuse charisma with character. Mahesh was admired as a leader. Sara was envied as a socialite. Their families bore the cost. That is why awareness matters. People must learn to spot the red flags. Love bombing at first, followed by control. Gaslighting, making you doubt your reality. Devaluation after admiration fades. Isolation, cutting you off from support. Awareness empowers victims to seek help, therapy, and support groups. It also helps communities to stop glorifying manipulative charm as leadership or strength. The final lesson. Narcissists may never remove their masks. Some might, with deep therapy and willingness, but many will not. The story is less about fixing them and more about rescuing oneself. Mahesh still thrives in boardrooms, and Sara still gathers likes on her posts. But Kavya has rebuilt a life of confidence. Nisha has learned to shine without fear. They carry scars, yes, but also wisdom. You cannot lose yourself trying to hold a narcissist. You win when you learn to hold your truth, your peace, and your boundaries. And perhaps the greatest awareness is this: love that costs you your dignity is not love, is captivity. True healing begins the day you choose freedom.